What's up, guys? Brian
Keith here. What's going on?
here with Off the Mat Podcast. Guys, before you guys start playing this episode of the podcast, Keith and I just kind of wanted to say thank you guys for listening, supporting us. You guys keep us motivated to keep the podcast growing. And if you're not already subscribed, if you don't already follow, if you don't already like and comment and all that good stuff, make sure you do that. All that does is motivate us to keep growing more and more
Right.
and keep providing more and more episodes for you guys. So, Keith, what you think?
I love it. Like, subscribe, comment, do it all. Listen, be interactive. Thank you.
Enjoy this episode, guys.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.
Welcome, guys. Brian here with Off the Mat Podcast with my host / co-host. I don't know what our titles would technically.
Yeah,
be.
I don't know what they would be.
Because I don't like saying co-host because then that makes it sound like you're like the second person. This is an equal partnership here, guys.
I
It's just
agree.
like marriage.
I
Just
agree.
like marriage.
I agree.
We share everything. So real quick before we dive into this podcast, we promised you guys upgrades. We have upgrades. Now we have headphones so we can hear how loud we are. So whenever I start yelling like an obnoxious idiot,
Right.
I'll know this shit in real time so I can stop yelling and you guys don't have to turn down the volume and all that bullshit. Not only that, we got one camera angle, but we also have two camera
We have
angles.
two now, guys. Guys, we keep stepping it up every week.
We're trying.
I'm excited to see where we're at in like another. What else could we get? Should we like get new like chairs or something? Remove the couches?
We'll end up rearranging at some point. You
Okay.
know, once that office is completely done over there, we'll do a couple in there, and then ideally, hopefully, we can find a place where we can record that's a little bit soundproof.
Right.
That's
I know,
the main goal there.
I know you're gonna think that just like a married couple, we have things that annoy each other,
Oh yeah.
but I do not like where my mic is.
What's wrong with it?
I think it's too low. I mean, I guess if you hear me properly, it doesn't matter.
I hear you just fine. That's the thing. Like too low in what? Like how does it bother you?
Like the angle, I don't know. All right, cool. I'll do it like this.
Because I can hear you just fine.
You can?
Yeah.
All right.
Can you not hear yourself?
No, I can.
Can you
I
hear
don't-
me good?
I can hear you great.
We don't have no problems.
I just appreciate how close yours is.
You're creating problems that aren't there. You want
That's
me to
true.
put mine far away?
No, not at all. Not at all. Do not move anything.
Here's the thing, though. See, mine's a little bit closer, but I'm also turning my head to talk to you at the same time.
Okay.
So
cool.
you see, like, if I turn my head and start talking like this, like, hey,
Ooh,
there's a
that's
little
clear.
You like that? It sounds nice, right? But it's hard because then if I'm talking to someone, I gotta look at them, you know. So I can't do that shit. Like, look at the camera and talk to you. It doesn't.
Right.
I don't know. Doesn't feel right. I can't do it.
So let's start off with you. How was your week?
It was a good week. Good week, man. I don't know. I didn't have anything crazy going on. The weather's been fucking up my jiu-jitsu training, though, man. Like, I've been having to like, either classes are canceled or whatever the case may be, and I haven't trained in a few days, so I feel like shit because of that. It's like I was sick as a motherfucker last week, so there was a couple days where I had to skip just because I don't want to get anybody else sick, you
Right.
know? Then once I wasn't contagious, I came back, but then fucking that snow just came again. Which I don't want to bitch about the snow because I love the snow for real.
Do you really? I think I watched it. How do I say this? I loved it in movies and everything. It's like nice to see. It's a nice
Yeah.
background for a photo.
Yeah.
But living in this, this is not for me, man.
I think it depends, though, man. I think it depends. So, like, if Kansas City's on their shit and they fucking clear the roads in time and it's not... One, it has to snow a significant amount.
Right.
For me to appreciate it, right? You know, I don't want to see grass. You know how, like, you get that snow sometimes and there's still, like, little blades of grass
That's the
sticking up?
snow I like, but keep
That's
going.
some bullshit. Get that the fuck out of here. That ain't real snow. That ain't real snow. I don't want to see... I want to see zero green whenever it snows.
Okay.
No grass, no nothing. I want to see all white everywhere.
It can cover everything but the roads. Driving in this shit, coming from Florida, I mean, we're terrible drivers already in Florida because, you know, we're
Yeah.
used to a certain lifestyle of like 2 lanes that we can
You
drive.
guys do your own thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you guys don't have...
And we
have
drive
laws.
slow. Like, we have nowhere to go in Florida.
Yeah.
So, like, we're not excited. Like, New York and Philadelphia and places, like, they drive crazy and they're cutting each other off. Florida's, it's me and a bunch of Haitians and everyone that's white is normally over the age of 65. So, like,
Playing
that's who's
golf.
on the road. Yeah, that's who's on the road with us.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, though. I grew up in Missouri, like, my whole life. So, I don't know. I feel like if you've if you've lived and were raised in Missouri like your entire life,
right,
and you don't know how to drive on snow, you're an abomination.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm throwing it out there. Like, if you've lived in Missouri your whole life and you don't know how to drive in snow, then you weren't paying fucking attention. You just weren't paying attention at all. Same thing with rain. You might be one of those people, but it kills me when it starts raining and people drop down to like 45 miles an hour on the highway.
Depending on my tires. I, like, a couple of years ago, I legit, like, had, like, bald tires. And I'd get on the road and slide.
I've never had my car slide because of rain.
You gotta drive like an idiot like me, man.
Oh, I guess. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, if you were born and raised in Missouri, and you're not, it's like second nature. Like, I feel like you should know that shit before you finish middle school. Like, before you even take the driving test, they're like, all right, go drive on the snow and rain
That's
real
something
quick.
You should know. I like
Let me
that.
make sure. No, but for real, though, like, I don't know. Whenever it snows, and people are always freaking out, like, oh, the roads are terrible. The roads are terrible. I agree. The roads are terrible.
Right.
But they're manageable. They're always manageable. Always. If you're making a turn, your fucking car fishtails a little bit, turn fucking into it. That's all you got to do, and it straightens you right out. It happens every time.
I think you found your calling. I think you might be a driver's ed teacher.
Is that what I need to do? Driver's ed, but for snow and rain?
You need to do summer courses.
Yeah. We'll call it how to drive not a pansy.
How not to be an abomination.
Yeah. For real, though. I mean, that's... I'm kind of a road rager.
I can tell.
I'm not like...
Being around you more and more, the more time I spend with you. Like, I know I'm a hothead, but you, like, we're one and the same. I can say that.
I let shit bother me that shouldn't bother me. That's the thing. Like,
are you the type to, like, follow someone home?
No. Fuck no.
Okay.
I'm not that extreme.
I just gotta see the level. I'm trying to find the level right now.
But, okay, so... To give you an idea of where I'm at as a road rager. One,
Right.
I'll never get out of my vehicle. Like, I'm never going to get into a physical confrontation over driving.
Okay.
You know, that's not going to happen. But I will say terrible things to you, like, while I'm driving. As long as, you know, windows up.
Yeah, of course.
I'll call you like a dirty motherfucker, go off on you. I don't really flip the bird or anything like that. I don't like to do that. I like to wave at people. That's like my big thing. Like, I'll fucking just start going on. Like, it depends on the situation.
Right.
So, like, a lot of times people will get pissed off at me because, like, I drive kind of aggressively. So, like, if they're, like, going off on me because I was driving aggressively, I'll just, like, smile and wave at them. But then if it's someone that's not, like, driving up as aggressively as I am and they're going, like, 45 on the highway, then I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm like, you shouldn't have a license. Like, just going the fuck off.
See, I like the gestures. I don't do anything. I'm real, believe it or not, I'm mild tempered in the car. Because it's like, I know that's also a death trap if you lose your mind. If you fall into that road rage, it's a death trap. Someone cuts you off, especially with this weather and the snow and everything. So I'm real mild manner. I'll just be like, okay, like, you're mad at me. But when I look over and someone's like flipping me off and I can see them mouthing shit to me, I love it. Well, I don't love it, but I'm like, yeah, look how upset you're getting.
Yeah. I'm that guy. I won't like flip them off, nothing like that. And I don't do that shit like where if I get cut off, then I'm like, well, I'm going to show them and then cut them off back, you know? Then you're just, I don't know. My main thing I do whenever I road rage, just give a little honk real quick, throw my hands up, and I go, what the fuck was that? You can, like, clearly see that I'm saying, what the fuck?
You don't roll down your window?
No. One, I got crank windows, so that's like a project. You know, it kind of takes away from your anger whenever you're pissed off, and then you're just like, like, in that process of rolling it down, you're like, wait a second, I'm 26 years old. What am I doing?
I kind of like, I don't know. It's always funny, because especially with, like, white guys, you guys always kind of like, what the fuck, pal? Hey, buddy.
What are you doing right now?
In Florida, I'm telling you.
That's not how I am. Come on now.
You don't like roll down your window.
Is that what you think I sound like whenever I'm upset? Like, I just go off and I'm like, what the fuck, pal?
What the fuck, pal? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you, dude?
You're stereotyping white people right now. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You just look at me with a smile and go, yeah, not giving a fuck. No, man, I'm not that guy.
And then you turn up the Friends theme. Is that what y'all do too?
Yeah, we like hold hands and
Is
shit.
that like the track list?
Nah, well, yeah, closing time's right after that.
Closing.
Too. Closing time. Fucking dick. I hate you so much. No, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't pay attention to white people road raging versus other races road raging.
I get the times we're in now. Everyone road rages. I'm not saying it's just a white thing. I'll just put you guys.
No, but you're just saying like the way white people are in general are funny.
Yeah, and you guys are like more prone to murder too.
Why do you say that?
Because you guys are like, at least the videos, I watch road rage videos sometimes, like they call them fails on like YouTube. You just look up like.
But you said more prone to murder?
Yeah, you guys, because that's the only thing I see. You know, like when you grow up in a suburban household, and you only see like rappers like drinking Hennessy and shit. You're like, oh, that's what all black people do. That's what I'm doing right now. I see road rage videos as normally the white people that are like the ones that pull out the guns and get out the car and ready to throw some hands.
I need you to send me road rage videos.
I will.
Apparently, I haven't seen enough. But what? How does that make us murderers? Just because?
No, it doesn't make you all murderers. I'm just saying more prone to murder.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
It's not true. It's me being ignorant.
Oh,
I'm not saying it is.
Okay. I don't think I can argue that statement all day long.
I'm like legit wrong.
Not agreeing with that statement.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
How's the week been going with you, man? I mean, you've had the weather shit. You've been dealing with it too. You're from Florida, so you're one of those people that I freak the fuck out on. Of like, why the fuck are you driving?
Definitely, you have every road except for last night when it snowed and we kind of. Is it considered a snowstorm? It's not considered a blizzard, was it?
No.
Okay.
No, we got like 3 to 4 inches, something like that.
But the roads were covered, and it's dangerous out, I will say. And I'm going already 20 miles per hour, but there was a car in front of me that turned on its hazard lights and was going, I swear to you, like 5 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And I did not know what to do except pass the person.
That's exactly what I would have done.
Yeah. I passed them, and I was like, oh, like. But it had. I'm assuming, I don't know what was going on, maybe bad tires or what, but it blew my mind. Because I'm like, I'm driving like a pussy.
Yeah.
So if I'm driving this way, I don't even know what word you are.
An abomination. I told you, motherfucker. I tried to tell you. You don't want to listen.
Look at you educating
Nobody
me.
wants to listen to Brian until he's right. That's so only time it's cool, right? No one listens to me.
You just educated me. Thank you.
Until I'm right.
An abomination.
That's what he was, an abomination. Or she. Either way.
No. It was a dude, like an old dude.
Oh. How old are we talking?
I didn't look that hard.
So I do that, though, sometimes where I'll, like, road rage. And again, this is me just, like what the fuck? You know, just kind of, like, basically throwing a temper tantrum in my truck, right? Is really all it boils down to. And then once I see that they're old, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm a dick. I'm such an asshole. Because I feel like that's... Like, if you're over the age of, like, 65...
You shouldn't be on the road.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far at all. But I feel like if you're over the age of 65, like, it's standard for you to drive, 10 miles under the speed limit.
Yeah, but why do you think that is? Because I couldn't imagine, like... I feel like I'm a decent driver now. Do you think, like, it just becomes too much for your, like, anxiety or something when you're that old? Because that's a common thing. Like,
I think that's exactly what it is. Well, especially, too, like, you got to think about it. Their lives in general are slowing down. Like, they're moving slower. They're doing things slower. So everything's getting slower and slower. And driving's the one thing that, like, it's not getting slower.
Right.
Like, it is for them, but the world around them's still moving equally as fast, if not faster. So they have to, like, try and, like, maintain that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the one thing that's not adjusting with their life slowing down, No,
I get it.
And it's not all of them. I'm just kind of generalizing.
No, yeah.
Again, that's stereotypes. We're bringing in the stereotypes right now.
We just generalize.
Not giving a shit. But yeah, no.
My week was good. It's a little tough right now. My twins are sick, and it's just like a sinus infection. Like a lot of like us taking the little like you get a little blue bulb, and you like it's like a suction cup, and you can stick it in their nose.
Oh, you're talking about the thing that clear their nose out.
Yeah, I just call it a blue bulb because I didn't want to say thingy.
I know what you're talking about.
And so it's been a lot of that, and it's
those things are gross.
It's it's disgusting, but it's also like I don't want my kids to die. So
No, I mean they're 1000% necessary. But then after you, do you wash those out? How does that work?
yeah, I mean, we just run like hot water or something through it and make sure we squeeze out all the extra fluid that might be in there. Yeah, it's a lot, man, but it's scary because I understand when I'm sick.
Yeah.
But now my babies are 3 months.
And they can't, like, speak for themselves.
And they can't speak. They can't tell me exactly what's wrong. And their immune system is just now being built.
Yeah.
So this could be, like, a serious time. I mean, it hasn't been. We've been on top of it. I've bought, like, weird essential, like, infant oils and stuff. I'm going all in. Like,
yeah.
And we have Tylenol. I mean, we have so many things. But that's, like, I didn't understand the emotions I would have just seeing my little baby cry and, like, I can't help them. Like, I feel helpless.
Yeah.
Just, I have to let time and, the medicine do its process.
They got to build some antibodies for that motherfucker.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. I guess in a perfect world, we'd all never get sick or anything. But it's tough. So I've been dealing with that. And then I've been playing video games again.
Yeah? What are you playing?
I've been playing, me and my lady. So my lady has...
So just so you guys know, too, Keith and Leslie both play video games, and that's one of the way that you guys kind of bond with one another, too.
Yeah, it keep our mouths
playing
shut.
with one another,
Yeah, I think it builds some camaraderie and everything, and that's my lady, so any more time we can do that's healthy, and obviously video games isn't the healthiest, but it's a lot better than fucking us just knocking back a bottle of fucking Jack or something. I mean, we don't drink like that anyway, especially now that we have kids, but it's a way for us to bond. And so she plays World of Warcraft, and I used to play World of Warcraft, but I'm not into it. It's a MMO. And she went to the point that she's in love with that game so much she has the Horde tattoo on her forearm.
Yeah,
it's just the Horde tribe symbol. So I wanted to play with her, but I just can't get into the game. So I love Final Fantasy. I would get something from Final Fantasy tattooed on my body. That's how much I love it. And so I got her into Final Fantasy 14, which is another massive multiplayer, online game. And we've been doing that. So I think it's been helping her and I get closer together.
I applaud you guys' dedication, because I don't think I would ever get a tattoo for a video game.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna get a tattoo for the video game, but she does.
Yeah, but you said you would for the Final Fantasy one, right?
If it was the right one. I mean, I've looked, but I mean, I think I'm one and done. After my whole, zodiac symbol.
Your horoscope.
Yeah, I'm kind of one and done.
Yeah.
There's nothing fascinating.
You're not coming back from that.
No, not at all. I can't top it unless we put some devil horns and some spikes on the bull.
Yeah. Tribal tattoo.
Yes.
We'll get you a sweet dragon, bro.
Yeah. But nah, I don't see me getting another tattoo. But yeah, we've been doing that. So I mean, we don't have a lot of time to do it, especially with the babies being sick. We have to constantly check on them, make sure they're not.
Yeah. Because you guys were sick before the babies were, right?
She was. I go through illnesses, but mine lasts like a day, and I don't. And we usually
say you got sick right after I did.
Yeah, I did, but we quarantine ourselves from the babies and stuff. But,
yeah.
With her, she has 2 other daughters, and just. The different people that come around, her family, and just life in general,
Sure.
Hands aren't 100% clean, so my little babies are sick, and I miss them, and I love them to death, and I want them to be healthy, but, we got to get through this together.
Have you ever used a neti pot?
I have. She can do it, I can't, because whatever my nasal passage is so effed up, dude, I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I'm telling you, or I don't do it properly.
What happens though?
Dude, it either gets clogged or I have little drops. But it's not a even flow. It's not like...
Oh, that just means you got that much shit up in there.
I believe it, but I also think my nasal passages is... Wait, why? Why the neti pot?
I mean, you should have
No, I'm saying where'd that come from?
Oh, because if I get sick and I'm stuffed up, that neti pot is putting in work.
Oh, no, I just tough it out.
Bro, that thing... No, because I'm talking I'll have that situation where I'll put it in and it'll just come out like drops, and then all of a sudden this fucking green monster comes out of my nose,
right.
plops into the sink, and then there's a waterfall of water coming out of my nose afterwards.
All right.
And you can feel it like working all the way through all the gunk and just, oh, it's amazing whenever you're sick though. It's amazing.
All right, I'll get one just for you.
I want to buy. If your nose is broke, don't worry about it.
I mean, I don't know. I just assumed that what it was because I mean we tried for like 30 minutes one night.
Yeah.
And I just could not get it to work.
Interesting. They have like a new one now where it's like you literally just put your nose in it and just sucks all the shit out.
That's the one I want.
I don't know what that's all about, though.
I wonder how much that is. Probably like...
I feel like this is going to sound really stupid, and I know that this wouldn't happen, but it makes me feel uncomfortable because I feel like my brain's going to get sucked out, you know? Like, I know it's not going to happen, and I know it's not even close to realistic, but just like I saw the picture of it, like, I saw a picture of it. I can't remember who I was with, but I saw a picture of it. He had it, like, up on his face with it in his nostrils, and I was like, nope, that's how they get you right there. Then you fucking rip your brain out. I don't want that.
Yes, that's the government conspiracy. That's how they set us up with neti pots.
Hey, you never know.
No, I do know.
That's what it is. They started off with the anti-vaxxer conspiracy theories, so people would get sick, and then you use the neti pot, and they suck your brain out.
Oh, my God, dude. You believe in a flat earth, too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe in flat earth. I don't believe in the anti-vaxxers either.
What about the NASA? What about the moon landing?
What about the moon landing?
You think it's real? You think
I don't know enough about it.
In a CBS studio.
I don't know enough about it. I know that there's a lot of evidence alluding to the fact that it was staged, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
Are there any conspiracies that you're into?
It depends what you mean by into. Because here's the thing with, like, conspiracy theories. Like, I always entertain them, you know, but I can't. It's so hard to just, like, dive headfirst into a conspiracy theory. Like, the whole, like, 9/11 conspiracy theory. Like, if you've ever seen, like, some of the major documentaries there, like, about how the metal was sticking out of the ground and they're saying, like, explosives went off before the plane even hit. And there's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of pictures and videos and statements that people have said, like, this is why it was staged. But then, like, as you're in the middle of it, like, you're starting to buy into this conspiracy theory.
Of course.
And I always, like, anytime I'm watching, like, a documentary or some sort of, like, podcast or something like that where they're talking about a conspiracy theory, I'll get, like, halfway through it, and then I'll just be like, all right, hold up. I need to take a step back. Like, I need to put all this on pause, take a step back, see how I feel about this, like, and that's whenever, like, I'm like, wait a minute, like, that would be a huge job to pull off.
Right.
Like, if 9/11 were an inside job, like, yo, come on, you know how many people got to be involved in that? And can I truly make myself believe that, like, that many people would consciously be involved knowing what was going to happen?
Right.
Because I would like to think that I would be one of the people who was like, bro, you're going to have to kill me. I can't get down with this.
No, not. I mean, hopefully, you know, whoever, you know, that those conspiracy theories, you listen to enough of it, and I think, you know, they can sell you bullshit.
There's some of them, like Flat Earth, like, I don't even want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about what you have to say about Flat Earth. You're a fucking idiot. So if you're a Flat Earther, you're stupid.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, I'm gonna go
they
that
just
far.
think differently.
No. Like, and I hate to be that guy to just be like, hey, I don't like your opinion. I think it's stupid. But that's the one thing where I'm just like, I can't even entertain it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've never really bought into conspiracies. Like, I don't even, like, I haven't met a lot of people that, but I've had people recommend me documentaries, like, just watch. Your mind to change. And it's like, I don't need to. I don't want to.
Like what? Give me a documentary. I'm a huge documentary buff. I love documentaries.
Oh, like the JFK?
See, like, even that, I don't know enough about that.
Yeah, see, I mean, I didn't watch, so I wouldn't, you know, but.
I know people always talk about it, so, I mean, I would be willing to listen, but as far as, like, afterwards coming out being like, I think it was an inside job, I don't see myself being that guy.
But even then, like, what do you accomplish if you do buy into a conspiracy theory? Because I feel like conspiracy theories, in some ways, just a way for you to cope with something so tragic, so traumatic that
I think that's I agree with that.
So you want to believe in your world that like this is what happened, and maybe I'm the only one that knows, or like there's only a few of us out there that actually get it. But because at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything. Like 9/11, the 9/11, was so devastating and so life changing for all of us. We all remember where we were when it happened.
I was actually just about to say, where were you when 9/11?
Yeah, I was in school. I was in like English class, and I remember that I didn't understand the gravity of the situation. I just remember like we turned on the news channel, and my teacher just starts crying.
Really?
Yeah, like she would just starts crying, and like we didn't know what to do. I think I like tried to give her a hug because I was like, "What's going on?" Yeah. And then you saw the towers drop, and you saw number 2 drop, and I still didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand the powerful shift that was going to happen in our country after that. Yeah. And that was just me being a kid in junior high. That was just like, what's happening?
I think I was in 2nd grade whenever 9/11 happened.
Wow.
Yeah, 2nd grade. Bro, my teacher tried explaining to us what happened. I'm fucking 8 years old, and my teacher's like drawing on the blackboard like 2 towers and an airplane flying into it. And she's got a class full of 8-year-olds that are staring at her like she's got 12 eyes. Like we couldn't even begin to comprehend what she was saying. You know what I mean? They were like, so they purposely took this plane and flew into a building, and I'm like, I'm an 8-year-old, right? And I'm like, well, they should be fired. Yeah. Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? I'm not sitting there thinking like, oh, plane was hijacked and they wanted to harm people. Right. Because that's not how an 8-year-old thinks. But
no, not at all. But that was a powerful time, especially in growing up in Florida, because we got like a bunch of rednecks and shit that went to school with me, and like then like you saw like a racism shift. Really? And it's in a sense like it being like black and white, it was all automatically like. I remember we had a kid at our school named Osama.
Oh, how did that go? That poor guy.
I mean, he was a part of the football team and everything, so like we had his back. I mean, I don't know personally if he was ever like bullied, but I remember like.
Oh, someone said something to him.
Yeah, people would always say shit.
Someone definitely said something.
You know what I mean? But like, I just remember watching it. Like, the times change.
Did the camera just cut off?
I don't know.
That was one of
them. Check.
I'm gonna double check because one of them just made a noise. I don't know if it cut off.
Sorry, guys. We got this new technology. We got to figure stuff out.
Fucking.
Is off?
Mike's camera cut off.
Why? Well, who cares right now? Battery dead? Yep. Battery's dead. All right, guys. So it's back to the regular Off the Map podcast with just one camera.
Back to our one camera angle. I'm gonna readjust this so we got us both in it. Yeah. There we go. No worries.
Cool. Perfect. Cool. I'm just gonna clap for.
Since I'm up, I'm gonna blow my nose. That one to come out.
I see. You need a neti pot.
I was fighting that the whole way. All right. As we're bragging about all this fine new technology that we have, one of it fucks up on us, so that's cool. Right. No, that's all right. We'll just make sure that shit's charged next time. He gave it to me last minute, so I had no idea if we were charged or not.
That's sweet of him to do that.
Yeah, for sure. But no, as far as like conspiracy theories like that go, man, like it's hard for me to buy into. I can buy into like the generalized ones. Like, the fact that like how the media relates to politics and things like that. Right. You know what I mean? Like in those I don't even consider conspiracy theories. In my mind, that shit's fact. Like that everything, a majority of the things, I would say like. Probably like 90% of what we see in the media and social media too, I think is politically driven.
Definitely.
So, I mean, but like past that, so a lot of times I'll question like regular things if I see it on TV or whatever the case may be. I question like regular things the motivation behind them.
Okay.
And the second that I feel like something's politically motivated, I'm not behind it anymore. Like I can't fuck with you.
What do you think? And it's not political, but what do you think about what just happened with the Empire Star?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So basically,
inform me, please.
Like 2 weeks ago, however long, he was said he
Empire Star, isn't that the guy that was he's been in a bunch of movies?
I don't know if he's been in a bunch of. No, you're thinking of Terrence Howard.
Yes,
he's one of the kids.
Yes.
He's a singer.
Okay.
Jesse Smollett, and he was said he was a victim of a hate crime. Said he was like going to Subway, and these two guys with "Make America Great Again" jumped out, poured bleach on him, tied a rope around his neck, poured bleach, and like basically he said he fought back and escaped, and like he got rid of it. He said
got rid of it.
Well, not get rid of it, but he said he was like assaulted and a victim of a hate crime from these these guys that were shouting "Make America Great Again."
Okay.
And it found out that he was lying. He set up the whole stuff himself. And on top of that, it wasn't even like two white guys. It was like two Nigerian brothers that he paid to for this to happen.
That's a bad look.
It's a terrible look.
That's a really bad look. That's so bad.
Yeah.
And
I might not have all the facts correct, but as of right now, I just pulled up an article that said that he's going to get indicted. Like, he's going to get charges on him for lying about assault.
Oh, yeah. You can't do that. Man. Wow.
But that was one of those things where it's in the media, when it first came out.
So what do you think? What do you think motivated him to do that? I mean, obviously he wants to bring attention towards, the inequality in races,
Yeah, I think, but it created a weird, it could have created a divide amongst, races and everything I imagine that first week it did happen, especially with people that were close to him that were F these Trump supporters that wear this hat and they're all monsters. I think he was trying to paint a picture that wasn't true about
But that's
everyone.
what's shitty about when people do things like that. So, the victim of a hate crime, why are you going to cry wolf, dude?
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's the part that upsets me, too, is now what happens, say this situation actually does occur, with another individual.
Yeah, we're all going to be
all going to be fuck, again? Really?
Yeah, really happened twice?
Which we may not be. We may be more open to it, wait, did it actually happen this time? But still, it's always going to be that thought in your mind that maybe this guy's faking it like that one guy did.
Yeah, no, it's a scary time because, with all these powerful voices coming out and people getting their justice finally after 10, 20, 30 years with, sexual assault and all that stuff happening. It's nice to see people voices being heard, but now this kind of dampens the fire because, you're more likely to question. You're going to question stuff like this now because this is the first situation to where something was actually proven false.
Yeah.
And now that sets up for other people to be well, how do we know this really happened?
Well, that's one thing, though. See, I'm a firm believer that everything should be questioned.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer that it doesn't matter to me who you are, where you're from, what the situation is. Everything needs to be questioned, and it should be questioned at all angles. You should question it from your point of view, and you should question it from the opposing point of view, and whatever other point of views might also be involved. It might be mutual between yours and an opposing point of view, or whatever the case may be. So, say for an example, someone claiming that a hate crime was committed on them.
Right.
I'm going to question it right off top. Just because I question everything, again. But if you show me a video of the hate crime, all right, I'm not questioning it anymore. You know what I mean? But now I'm questioning maybe the motive behind the hate crime. What were they doing? Things like that. So I think everything should be questioned, but to what extent? You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
And it makes it easier to question things that maybe shouldn't be questioned as much.
It just sucks because, and thankfully, in a weird way, thank God it didn't happen to him.
Yeah.
Especially the pouring of the bleach and putting a rope around his neck. So cartoonish, but it's that shit could happen. Who knows what's going on? Because stuff like that can still happen in the South, you know, especially those fucking areas. But with him, it's like, man, like, what were you? I would love to hear what his mindset was.
I was actually just thinking the same thing. Like, he must have been very upset. Very upset.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I get it, because there's a lot of people that, you know, that don't agree with political opinions and don't agree with certain politicians, and actually all politicians. There's someone out there that doesn't agree with a politician.
Right.
Doesn't matter. You can look at a politician on TV, and there's someone out there that hates their guts. Like, that's just what it boils down to. And I don't know. It just sucks, man.
Yeah,
right.
It sucks in that.
It's interesting. I would want to see what his like motive behind it would be. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he's upset, but to take it to that extent, that's pretty extreme. You know,
such a broad stroke he was going for, though, with the, you know,
make America great again.
Yeah,
Let's
like
do
adding all that shit,
racist shit.
Yeah, like that. You know, it's scary the times we're in, but thankfully it didn't happen, and maybe we'll hear his voice and see what he was thinking.
I don't know. What do you think about the whole thing? Like, obviously, I mean, you said that it sucks, but
I mean, when I initially heard it, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, are we taking a step back in time? Like,
yeah,
how could that shit?" And I really don't know.
Before you knew it was staged.
and I didn't never really like. I didn't want to be bothered by reading the whole article of what happened, because I mean, stuff like that really does affect me, you know, especially coming from the South. But now that he lies, it's kind of like, dude.
Do you have any issues growing up in the South?
Definitely.
Like, to what extent?
I wasn't like running home or anything from like, you know, but I mean, I've been chased by a dude with like a Confederate flag, and what he would have done to me, I don't know. You know, and I've been called fucking, you know, I've been called the N-word.
Sure.
You know, just like out of nowhere. And I've been called the N-word out of hate too. You know?
Just out of nowhere? What do you mean just out of nowhere?
I was walking down the street one day, and it was right after we had a hurricane, so we had a bunch of volunteers like come in and from different states, and like there was like these group of rednecks. And I was walking down the street, I swear to you, he just opens the car door, calls me the N-word, kind of like waits for a second to see my reaction, and then drives off. Okay. Out of nowhere.
That's weird.
It was very weird. After talking about the Jussie Smollett situation, it sounds like I'm making.
How did you react? What, did you just like stand there and you were just like, okay?
Yeah, I swear to you, because I've always been like mild mannered, and I was, you know, I don't know what the hell he asked, and I was like, okay, and I was in my neighborhood, and if I was with a group of my friends, because I was such a punk back then, I probably would have been like, "What up, then? Come get this ass whooping."
Yeah,
but, you know, like
right, pull out the tough guy routine.
Yeah, but he was in a car full of other white guys, and I don't know what motivated him to say it outside of just me walking down the street and him not liking my skin tone. But yeah, I've been called that out of nowhere. But my reaction was like, okay, and I think I just went about my day, and then it was always like in the back of my mind, I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
You know,
you've also been called that out of hate.
Yeah, I've been called that out of hate. Like, I've been, you know, and for a while.
Was that by someone that you were close with or something? Or was it just like a angry customer that was like, just decided they
I can't really, you know, I blocked that stuff out of my mind. Memory too much. I've been called it by a girl that's like, I thought we were cool, and she was like, I couldn't date you because you're a, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How did you react to that?
I mean, you're shocked. I'm shocked. I'm not, you know, I'm not quick to anger.
I can't talk to you because you're fucking racist.
But I didn't even have that. I think I was more shocked and hurt because I was like, well, I thought we were cool. Like, what
I wish I would have been there for that. That's like my favorite to be, because here's the thing, like, white people do this thing all the time where whenever they're in a group of people and it's like primarily white people and it's like one black guy, there seems to be like every now and again there's that one white guy that's like, I'm going to make a racist joke and it's going to be okay because there's only one black dude here and he's my friend. So it should be okay. But it's my favorite whenever they make that joke and then I immediately get the black person's back. Like, I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you saying that you just see in their face like that did not go how I had planned?
Yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate any kind gentleman that's like that. But growing up, I had to make a decision, midway through my life that I can't like educate everybody. I can't go, hey man, that's not funny because blah 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 blah. Or,
Well, yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean. But I used to try. I used to like try to be like, hey, that's why they're not cool, and because like people would always say that like I was like one of the good ones, or
you're one of the good ones.
Yeah.
God, that's the most offensive shit.
Yeah,
I've
man.
ever
But
heard.
people think it's a compliment.
They think it's a yeah.
Yeah. Or I trust you. Like, I like this guy was like, I normally wouldn't say this, but I trust you with my daughter. And this is like, what?
Yeah.
But they take it as a compliment, and I guess I don't take it as a compliment because I'm proud of who I am.
You shouldn't.
Yeah,
you shouldn't. That's no.
I've been proud of who I am for a long time and my heritage and my ethnicity, and I feel like I do a good job, not purposely. It's just because of the character my mother built into me, but I represent who I am, and I've never been like, I gotta be black today, I gotta blacken it up a little bit, I can make jokes or whatever.
What do you mean?
Sometimes it's kind of like growing up, and times have changed, there's a lot more kids that skateboard and do everything, but like through high school and junior high, you had to stay in a certain lane.
Yeah.
You had to play football, you had to play basketball, you had to do something entertainment wise, because that's what your grouping was.
You had to fit into your clique.
Yeah. And I didn't do that. I played video games. I was playing Diablo, and I was nerdy, and I was corny.
Yeah.
I was a very corny dude, a very corny kid growing up, and goofy, and I never really fit into what was really like what was black at the time, especially my speech. I don't have great diction or anything, but because I didn't talk in that certain dialect, they'd be like, you talk white.
You talk white.
And it's like, what? Like, why would you even say that to me?
Why would you even say that to me?
That's ludicrous. No, but it's a weird time, man. And I grew out of that now. I'm more comfortable being who I am. And I wish I can go back and tell myself, as a teenager, it's okay to be who you are.
Yeah.
Because I was always worried about acting too white or being gay, especially like joining theater. I was like, what are you, gay now?
What, because you joined theater? People thought you were gay?
Well, that's where like a lot of the...
Or people thought you were gay because you're a little gay.
I mean, hey, baby. I mean, call it what it is. No, it was like... no, because it was like theater, you didn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I looked at theater as a way to like get into movies and like meet chicks and shit.
Yeah.
But
that's how I always thought of it too. Like even whenever I was in high school, like the guys that were in theater, I was just like, they got the girls, dude.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but no.
They're hanging out with the girls all day.
But that's where like the drama, like my drama class was for like a lot of the emo or the gay or bisexual kids went.
Yeah.
So it was like taboo.
Outcasts.
Yeah, the outcasts, and it was taboo for me. But it was funny because it was so weird. I really didn't fit in with anyone in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I got to drama class, I didn't fit in with them. I was an outcast to them. Because like I was like cool enough to where like I played football and everything, so I was like, oh, these guys. So I was never really accepted by them, and I didn't try to get accepted by them.
Yeah.
I was never accepted by them, but then like once I left that drama class and went out, I wasn't accepted by anybody. I wasn't hanging out with the football guys. Like every day at lunch I was sitting with a new group. Like, like at lunch you would sit with a certain group, your friends or whatever. I didn't have that.
There's certain people that you pick out, like I'm sitting at his table, wherever he goes. That's my boy.
Like every day I would either sit with some of the drama kids or like I'd see like a football player that I was cool with, or I would like eat lunch alone.
Do you have like a hard time, like, I don't know, like kind of figuring out who you were?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because I always try to blend in. I was trying to be a chameleon. So if I was around a bunch of like thugs or rappers or whatever, I would try to be like down with them and try to be all hip. Or, if I was around, you put me in a group and I always like blended. I was never myself. I would just adapt to whatever that theme of the group was.
Yeah.
And I wasted a lot of time, and I never valued myself because I just wanted to be liked. That's one of the biggest issues with trying to be liked by everybody. You're not true to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if I was around a bunch of rednecks, I'd...
It's fucking crazy, like, now that you're older, like, looking back at that. So, like, just like how you're saying, like, you would always hop around to, like, all these different crowds, and, like, based off who you're around, you would play a different role, essentially, to appeal to
just
that
to fit
group.
in.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, essentially, you were trying to be cool based off whoever you were around.
Exactly.
And it's fucking wild, like, now, like, looking back at it. I mean, at least in my mind, this is how I see it. Because I did the same shit, like, not to an extreme. Like, for the most, I was just a burnout, for real. But, I mean, I would definitely change things up a little bit based off who I was around,
Right.
But, again, not to any extreme. But now looking back at it, like, I'm just like, dude, like, that's the most uncool shit you could possibly do. Is just be not true to yourself, you know? Like, being true to yourself is the coolest thing you can do. Then it doesn't matter, like if you're in football or drama, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're doing you and you're doing your own thing and you're, like, driving and trying to be successful or whatever it is your thing is, that's whatever's cool to you and you being yourself, that's the shit.
That's a lesson I learned way too late.
I think everybody does, though, man.
Yeah, that's true.
I think everybody does.
That's true. I can't think of anyone.
Because, like, even back then, like, there were times, like, when I was in high school, there was, like, I wouldn't have thought drama was cool. You know what I mean? Like, again, I thought that, like, they hung out with all the girls all the time. But, I wouldn't have thought it was cool. Like, if you would have asked me to classify it as something that was cool or not cool, I would have 1,000% classified it as something that was not cool. But now, looking at it, I'm like, dude, that's fucking dope that they do that. Like, that's some cool shit, for real. Like, they're actually learning stuff. They're doing, and you can see it. Now I can appreciate it. I still don't want to do it, but that doesn't mean that it's not cool because I don't want to do it.
You know what I wish I can go back? Like, and I try not to live in the past too much. But if I could have, did band or something, like, learned an instrument back then.
What would you have learned?
Guitar.
Okay. Why guitar?
They get all the jicks.
I was in band for a little bit.
Were you really?
Yeah.
What'd you play?
Saxophone.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Lisa Simpson?
No, like Bill Clinton.
Oh, okay.
For real, though. That's why I wanted to play saxophone. I saw Bill Clinton playing sax, and I was like...
Really?
I was like, that's my dog right there. I'm doing it, too.
See, like I said, my mindset was football, basketball. I was too short, and I wasn't good at basketball. I was okay at football, but my body couldn't handle it, and I tried playing football too late. I was afraid to hit my first time playing football, so... Yeah. And I was on defense, so... Imagine how that worked out.
Hey, your boy wasn't an athlete at all. Not until wrestling.
And I never did wrestling too.
No, you fucked up. You should have wrestled.
I should have wrestled. I would have been okay at wrestling.
I was good at wrestling until I decided that I like smoking weed a lot more.
Oh man, see, I wish.
That's when I wish I could go back and just be like, no, you fucking idiot, keep wrestling.
But see, even that, like, and this is how closed off my mind was. Even that, like, was white boy shit.
What, wrestling?
To the young, yeah.
Oh.
And it sucks because now I love jiu-jitsu and MMA and everything, and it would have been so valuable to have those skills. And it might be different in Midwest, but back then, back in the early 2000s in Florida,
yeah,
that was like,
maybe in Florida it might have been
that was considered white boy shit.
Yeah,
we're not cutting weight. We're not doing any of that shit.
Yeah,
we're not gonna wrestle with another man. We ain't gay. You know what I mean?
That's what I think it would mostly come into play is like the whole gay thing.
Yeah, man. It was. I lost, not forever, but I missed that. I missed out on a lot of opportunities because of how closed off my mind was. Yeah, I think I could have been a phenomenal, putting my heart and dedication and not looking for instant gratification. There's a lot of things that I could have valued that I'm now starting to learn and love, but I missed out on in my youthful days because I was so like...
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a lot of missed opportunities and a lot of things that you didn't appreciate then, too, that you wish you can go back and appreciate.
And it's funny because if I would have known how many ass whoopings I could have handed out if I was a wrestler, I missed out.
Wrestlers are fucking savages.
But I didn't know that. If you would have walked in, me back then, which was, I was 150 pounds, and you would have walked in and you would have been a wrestler, and someone would have been like, you think you could beat Brian's ass? I'd have been like, I can fuck Brian up. That wrestling, that gay ass bullshit, I'd have beat his ass. And you would have took me down, whooped the shit out of me, and you would have humbled me, and I would have been like, what just happened?
Have you seen those videos of there was a wrestler who was chilling in a park and he had a sign and he's like $1,000.
Yeah, you can take me down.
Dude, and then he just like dumps guys on their heads.
Dude.
Like
Some
literally
of those guys are
like pick them
else, yes.
Yeah, pick them up and dump them on their fucking head.
Yeah, man.
I'll just never forget that first group. It's like, wait, you're gonna give me $1,000 if I can take you down? He was like, do you have it with you right now? I was just like, dude, it doesn't matter if he has the money or not. Yeah. He's not gonna need it. You're going the fuck down.
No, man, that's one thing I want to pass on to my kids though, and even talk to my cousins and my nephews and nieces. Like, just explore. Like, it's okay to explore and step out of your comfort zone and not be liked by everybody, but try something new. Try, debate team. Try,
It's
drama.
hard to pass that shit on though, too.
It is,
because like I look back and I always remember like adults and like my parents and just adults in my life like telling me like, dude, I'm telling you, just be you. Right. Like, in whatever the situation may be, if I was like asking advice on like how to fit in, or if I'm asking advice on like how to ask out a girl or something like that, that was always the answer, is like literally just be you.
Right.
Just be you. It's all you got to do. And like just go in there and say whatever feels natural and do whatever feels natural and act however you want to act. Like, just be you. And that's the coolest thing you can do, and things will be all right for you if you do that. And I remember like as a kid like hearing it and going, you're an adult, you're supposed to say that shit, fuck off. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't take that shit seriously. That wasn't real to me. And I can just feel myself like trying to pass that message along to someone else, like someone younger, and them just like in one ear and out the other. You know what I mean?
Well, it's such a hard time, especially in high school, to stand out, because the ridicule and the failure, I think it means nothing at that level, but it means the world to that child or that teenager.
The world.
When it does happen. I remember, God, we lost every damn football game my junior year.
It's because you guys were trash.
We were terrible, but we could never accept it, and we all, man, if I was in this position, and that sucked, going to school every day. Or going to school and wearing our jerseys right on game day, and
everybody's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
You guys are like, "What? Give me that jersey. I could wear it too."
I could wear it too.
I never played varsity.
Really? Did you play your senior year?
So freshman year I basically dropped out of school. Sophomore year I spent all the time trying to catch up.
Yep. From freshman year?
From freshman year. And then junior year, I finally barely had a 2.0, so I could play football, so I could play JV, but I was afraid to hit because I never played contact sport like that. So finally I got over my fear of hitting, and then we went through the whole season. We lost every fucking game. And then varsity came around my senior year. Mind you, I probably was only on varsity because it was like a requirement your senior year you had to play varsity.
Yeah.
I was gonna ride.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
I was gonna ride the bench the whole year, and then my first game. No, not even the fucking the homeschool game where defense plays offense.
Yeah.
I tore my knee, or I sprained my knee. I had an MCL level 2 sprain, and I was out basically the whole season.
Nice.
So I never. And that shit bothers me to this day.
Really? That you didn't get to finish out senior year?
Yeah, because I basically so I would go to practices and help out. Then by a month or two, or not even a month, a month or two in, I was like, I could just go home and chill. Why do I need to be here?
Yeah.
So I just quit the team because I knew I was gonna play.
Yeah.
And I quit, and I remember my coaches they kind of took it personally.
Why?
I don't know, because it's not like I was some D1 prospect.
Well, it's not only that; it's not like you're gonna play either.
Yeah.
I get supporting the team and whatnot, but for you, high school football's over.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think,
you know what I mean?
And that's how I looked at it.
Yeah. I agree with the way you looked at it. I would have been like, I'm not going to hang out here every day for an hour after school for something that I can't participate in.
But they legit made a person.
What did they say or do something?
I remember like one of my favorite coaches like went off on me one day.
Really?
Yeah.
Like for that?
Yes, because like, so my knee got better, was getting better, and I was starting to move around a little more.
Yeah.
And I remember like it was like PE class, and I wanted to play football. Like I just want to play like touch football or like flag football. And I never forget. I was like, "Can we play football today?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay." And like someone else was suggesting it, and then I said it like a second time. He like lost it on me. I swear to you.
What did he say whenever?
He was just like, "Why do you want to play football so bad? You already quit the team. You won't worry about playing football then." And like, kind of gave me like this whole spiel about it. And I remember this kind of like being shocked and being like, I couldn't play.
Yeah.
It's not like I was avoiding practice. It's not like I was like, like I
Maybe
legit
they thought
was,
you were milking it.
I think they did.
They probably thought you were milking it.
I genuinely.
That's the only thing that would make sense. Like,
but I mean, I had a form and everything. I said I had a MCL level 2.
you know how athletes are.
Yeah.
Someone could bring in a form for me right now for their toe being sprained, and I'm like, you're fucking tape it. Get on the mat.
Maybe that's what it was, man. But to this day, man, I still every now and then I'll have like a nightmare of me like.
Really?
I swear to you, man.
A nightmare? It affects you that much?
Yeah, man. Because I
holy shit.
Because I think it's in my mind that they really felt that I like milked it or like I faked my injury or something just to get out of football. And it's like it's not like my mother was forcing me to play football or anything. Like I wanted to play football. I just wasn't as gifted as other people because I started so late.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with wrestling and all this. It's like, when you learn as a kid or you're going against someone that has like those years of experience, they're bound to be better, whether you feel you're naturally talented or not.
Wrestling was different though. You had to wrestle for your spot.
Okay.
So like if there's two seniors that both weigh 129,
yeah,
like take it out on the mats.
I like that better.
Whoever wins, that's who gets the varsity spot. And you could challenge. I'll never forget the time that someone was challenged, because it's like a ritual almost. Like everybody stops everything, and it's like, what was that one movie with Nick Cannon, Drumline?
Drumline, yeah.
It's exactly like that, but wrestling.
Okay.
The exact same thing, where you're just like, all right, so and so's been challenged by for their varsity spot by so and so, and then like that kid has no idea that it's happening. He's like, what? He's challenging me?
Shit.
And then it was exactly like that. He's like, motherfucker, what are you talking about? You're challenging me.
Yeah.
And they took it out on the mats, and the dude that challenged him won.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it was like he had to go sit down, and dude had a new varsity spot. And it was here's the kicker, right? So the guy who lost his match wrestled all throughout high school. The dude that beat him just started wrestling that year.
Yeah, that would kill me.
It's bad.
Did he win? Did the guy go on and like have a good season? Because if he took his spot, then got trashed by everybody else, that would suck.
I think it was no. He ended up going to state. He went to state his senior year, so they were both juniors at the time.
Okay.
Division. I can't remember what the weight was, but yeah, they were both juniors at the time they wrestled with each other, and he got a hold of that varsity spot and held on to it the rest of his high school career. And went to state his senior year. I don't know what he did after that. He might have kept on wrestling in college, but yeah, I'll never forget it because I didn't know no one explained to me like that that's how it worked, because we like had a board, where it said like all the weights, and it had our names for who was varsity, who was freshman, who was JV, and everybody had their own nameplate,
Right.
And every now and again you would see a couple of extras off to the side, and I was just like, And I was like, oh man, it was so crazy just like seeing that situation go down, because like they were literally like battling for their lives.
That's everything. That's you. I understand how much that means to you, and especially in high school, because you think that's your career. You know what I mean? Like in high school, I really had that belief. if I would have started from freshman, I really have the belief that I would have been a college football player. Really?
What position did you play?
Strong safety.
Okay.
I played strong safety. I wanted to be a running back, but I ran a 4.7. So I wasn't.
I don't know what that
enough.
means.
In the 40 meter. 40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the 40, I ran a 4.7, so I wasn't really that fast. But I felt like whatever I felt like if I would have pursued it from freshman year, I could have had that career, at least as I went on to college. Maybe maybe D2, maybe never D1, but you know, I don't know. I really had a belief, and I love football. When I finally got to play, I got my grades up. I came back to school and did well in my classes just so I could play football.
So that was why you came back to school and like was so that you could play football?
Yeah.
Really?
Dude, I didn't care about school back
But the
then.
fact that you cared about football that much is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
what
man.
was your obsession with football? Because you don't give a shit about football
I
now.
thought I was the next Emmitt Smith.
Is that what it was? Like you just...
Yeah, I just always loved it. I mean, I watched it. I played Madden, like anything football related. I knew stats and everything. I just loved it, and I just like freshman year. I remember I didn't play because I was so busy worrying about everything else. And then sophomore year, I wanted to play, but I couldn't play because I wasn't eligible.
Yeah.
And then junior year, man, when I played, man, I put the helmet on, put the pads on, like, dude, it was. I can still remember the feeling to this day. How fucking amazing I felt.
I played football when I was in second grade.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you know, during the 9/11 time. That's whenever I played football.
Right.
Second grade. It was a very eventful time. I was the worst football player in the history of fucking history.
Right.
I played left tackle, which I wanted to play left tackle because it had the word tackle in it, and I really wanted to tackle people. And I didn't understand the game.
Right.
So I didn't even understand my position. I didn't know that I'm supposed to be like defending the quarterback, making sure that nobody gets to him. So I would get into it with the guy on the line, you know, and then once he starts trying to like get around me, I'm like, fuck, you can go past, I guess. I thought we were like wrestling, you know what I mean? In my mind, I was like, yeah, let's wrestle. I'm like, why are you avoiding me, trying to go around me? All right, well, whatever, bye. And then he would just smack the fuck out of the quarterback, and coaches are losing their shit on me, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't know.
That's what I did.
We took second place. No big deal.
Did you? Well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what victory tastes like in fucking football.
You just get L's all day.
Just got L's, but that's what I did. I had a low IQ in football. As much as I loved it, they put me on kick returner one time, and I was so hyped up because I was like, if I get to play defense, at least I get to show my offensive skills. And you know, like kickoff, your team on the
Kicking team.
on the kicking team, like they make a formation.
And they're running full sprint the fuck at you.
They make a formation.
We'll
later.
see you, Matt. Have a good night.
They make a formation so you can they make blocks for you, and you're supposed to go upfield and score.
Yeah.
So I get the football. Mind you, we've been practicing and everything. This is how stupid I am at the time with my low IQ. I get the football. It kicks off. I catch it. They make a formation in the middle. I go straight up the sidelines and run into three people and get laid out.
Yeah.
And then they took me off kick return, and I was like, why? And then I was like, oh, but now, like, later, I was like, oh, I was supposed to, like, do what we practice.
Yeah. Like try and find a hole. And
Yeah, but I didn't do that. I just
one.
literally caught the ball, was so like, I have the ball, and just ran straight.
At least you didn't like run backwards or some stupid shit like
No, but I get why they took me off kick return.
that. Yeah.
That I don't have to question, but you know,
Some people get into football pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it made you come back to school, but like you've seen Friday Night Lights, right?
yeah,
Like that scene whenever fucking what was his name? What is it?
Booby,
Booby?
Booby Williams or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I don't even know his last name was Williams.
Dude, like whenever he's going into like end of the season, he's going in the locker room getting his stuff. He's smiling. He's like, "Man, it's all good. You know, I'll be back." And then he goes out and gets in the car and just starts fucking crying. He's like, "What are we gonna do? All I know is football." I was like,
man.
"Dude, that's whenever it hits you. You're just like, fuck." They put all their chips into one basket, and a lot of people do that with like sports in general. I shouldn't even be saying football. Like sports in general, people do that.
Yeah, I mean it's a because you're kind of bred that way to believe like this is it. And you're gonna make the millions and be the next Tom Brady, Antonio Brown. Like there's so many things that you really feed into, and then reality sets in whether your body naturally can't compete with people at that level that you know or you're not that good. You're just not that good, and this is all you know. And senior year, in the most dramatic way, and this isn't for everybody, But for senior year, at the end of that year, a lot of people's lives end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They never find that happiness again because that's all they know. And at the end of your football season, when you don't get those letters of like, hey, come play for us in college, or I mean, you can go to play Division III, like junior college, but that's as good as it's going to get. And you know you're not going to make it to the high level, man. Like, a lot of people's dreams die, and I think some of them don't recover.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and it really does suck, and I think a lot of people fall victim to that, but sometimes it's not meant for you to be.
I think a lot of people come into it with like a certain image in their mind too. You know what I mean? Like, all I'm gonna do is eat, sleep, and breathe football,
Right.
and I'm in return I'm gonna be great at it, which for the most part is true. But that doesn't mean, like, I don't know, for like Booby, for example.
Right.
Like, let's say how he put all of his eggs in one basket, all into football, right? Catches an injury the end of his senior year. You know what I mean? Like, what are the chances of you going to college to play football? You don't have a senior performance for them to go off of, so they're not going to sign you. But if you got some background, you know, maybe you did go to class a couple times, and you know, you can get into a community college, join their football team. Oh, you're an all-star. Now let's go ahead and get you into this fucking university.
Yeah, but people don't want to swallow their pride that way. Not everyone swallows their pride. So going to a community college kind of means like I didn't make it, and people stop at that. You know, there's a lot of talented people, especially on the football team back home in Palm Bay, where I'm from, that like just didn't keep pursuing it. They kind of gave up, became drug dealers, or had kids by the time they were 19 years old. Like,
well, yeah, because they were expecting to get signed to a collegiate team, like a university. And the second that didn't happen, they were like, oh, well, we tried.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by, like, people putting all their eggs into one basket like that. Like, I'm all about people pursuing their dreams, but you got to take a realistic route about it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And as someone who went out to Hollywood and had a dose of reality, you know, I get that.
Yeah.
But you have to pursue your dreams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're gonna be
I just
miserable.
think you need to be smart about the way you go about it, you know?
Yes, definitely.
Like, you got to sit back and think, like, all right, what's the best move for me here?
Right.
All right, now we got an ACL tear its senior year. How do we go about it from here?
Yeah.
You know? And that's tough because, I don't know.
I mean, for me,
It's all situational, obviously. It depends on the situation.
And for me, it was a blessing in disguise, because with me not being able to play my football season and then me quitting, I didn't make the most out of it because I was worried about getting laid and treating my girlfriend like shit.
How'd that work out for you?
Fucking, you see where I'm at. But,
Yo!
I'm in a good place right now. No, I'm happy. But realistically, back then, my senior year, I dicked off, but it got me to do my audition and go to college and get to go to Hollywood. You know, and you know, it really helped get me out of Florida and expand who I was and find who I was and be comfortable with who I was. So in a weird way, you know, it was a blessing that I wasn't able to play football. But yeah, sometimes it still bothers me, and you know, I had a lot of growing up to do.
How do you think it bothers the people that played all 4 years, thought that they were going to go pro, and then they didn't even get a full ride to a university?
I know, man. We had so many times.
They think about that shit every day.
I know.
Every single day, they're like, I could have went pro.
Right? No, you're right, man. We had so many talented kids, so many talented football players that even though we came from a losing team, you knew that kid had potential.
Yeah.
If he had the right teammates that could.
If he had the right teammates that could
play. If he had the right teammates that could play at his level, man. But I mean, that's the story of a lot of guys that come from, you know, stay in their hometowns, and you go and live life after that, and you know, yeah.
It's one of the amazing things about, like, growing up in general, you know? Like, now I can look back and see what I was like in high school and the way I thought and things that I thought, and like, God, that guy was such an idiot. What a dumbass.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way. I mean, I'm 30 now, so I feel that way for the past, like, 20 years of my life, because literally when I was 10 years old, I was like, can't wait to be a teenager. Things are going to get better. And then I was in
I know.
I was dicking around. And then once I was like 18, I was like, man, once I'm in my 20s, man, everything's going to change. And then when I got to my 20s and I was still dicking around. And now that I'm in my 30s, now I'm like, I'm going to make the most of my 30s because I have so much experience from the teenage years in my 20s.
But you're going to be 35, look at 30-year-old you and be like, that guy's a fucking idiot.
You're right. Yeah.
It's amazing that, like, that humans just keep on learning, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what your life is. Your life is just you learning every single day.
Right. But I can honestly say I stopped my growth in my 20s because I didn't expand. Like, I wasn't reading. I wasn't trying to, until I found jiu-jitsu and everything, I wasn't trying to be healthy. You know, I stopped.
So what do you mean you stopped your growth, though?
Like, I took,
because I don't believe in that statement. I think you grow every day as a human being.
I feel like instead of pursuing a job or putting time into my craft, I did everything. I drank. I was worried about the next chick I could hook up with, and I really didn't develop, career-wise.
Yeah, but still, man. I mean, you grew, though. So they might not have been positive experiences that you had, but you had negative experiences that you learned from, and you grew as a human being from those experiences.
Yes, but there's 2 years of my life. Let's say 2 years of my life. In my 20s. I'm not going to say which years.
Why not?
That I just don't want to.
Okay.
I didn't do anything for the entire year. Like, 1 year I went home and, like, didn't get a job. I'd have to get money off my mom. And I just, like, would lay in a room depressed all day and sleep. I would sometimes sleep.
Really?
Yeah, man. I didn't do anything. And my mother...
Why?
Because I was a lazy slob.
Well, yeah, obviously you were in a depression. Was there something that, like, triggered a depression? Or you were just like, I just want to be a bum?
It was a mixture of both. Because I got evicted from my apartment in California.
That doesn't feel good.
I didn't have a job.
That also
so I didn't have the
good.
money for a down payment.
Yeah.
I was calling every month to have my mom pay rent. Yeah, dude, it was bad. And I think I was like 20 years old. And all I wanted to do was play Madden football and hang out at the next party. And then I put on so when I first went to LA, I was 175 pounds.
How tall?
Same size, same height. I never grew.
What are you right now?
5'6".
Like 5'6", yeah.
When I left LA, I was 220 pounds.
Put on some weight there, boss.
That's from all the drinking, playing beer pong, and I valued shit that was dumb as fuck. And then when I went home, I never forget my girlfriend. Well, she wasn't my girlfriend, my high school's sweetheart.
You told me this. That she saw you and she was like,
yeah. Because, like, I had a belly. Like, and normally I had a belly, but I was 175 pounds.
Yeah.
Now I was 220 pounds. I'm thick all around. I'm breathing heavy. You know, I'm just like, I just wasn't healthy. And all I did that past year to balloon up was play beer pong, go to parties, drink, eat fast food. I'm
still stuck on the fact that you went home and lived at home for a year just on GP.
Yeah, dude, I returned to my roots. Who else was going to take care of me?
So what was your mom saying during this time?
My mother was miserable. Imagine your son left at the age of 18 to pursue this career and have this potential of being a star or having a career, and then he shows up 2 years later and just a fat slob. And I didn't want to work in Palm Bay because I was afraid of my failure. And I was like, if someone saw me at the local grocery store, they're going to be like, oh, you didn't make it. And that was going to ruin my life. I was depressed and I was lazy. I didn't have that mentality. I have no discipline. So I literally laid up for a year and did nothing. Did nothing, dude.
Yeah.
And then finally, I think she gave me money. I was like, get the hell out of my house. Go back to LA and actually try to do something.
So you went back to LA?
I went right back to LA.
And how'd that go?
It went better.
It went better the second time.
Yeah, it went better. It went better the second time. I think I grew up a little bit and I lost weight. I think I got like to 200. You know, and I started growing. I started challenging myself more. But when I was 20 years old, dude, didn't do anything.
Here's the thing though, like even though there was a period that year where you just stayed at your mom's house, I still don't think that you can say that you didn't grow. You still grew from that year. Maybe not a tremendous amount. Maybe not a lot.
Right.
Maybe a lot physically. But I think, like now, you're looking back at that experience in that year, you know, and you're able to assess it now that you're not in that mindset anymore.
Of course.
And you're able to break it down and see, like, okay, what was I going through? How did I get to that point in my life? Why did I respond this way? Why didn't I respond this way? This is, you know what I mean? Like, you can get growth from anything, man. You can learn from anything. And especially situations like those, when you're in your lowest lows, I think that's when you need to learn the most about yourself, for real.
Right.
So that way you don't get into situations where you're staying at mom's house for a year, not doing anything, no job, no nothing.
Well, I learned that I could be a lazy bum.
Yeah, but you also learn how not to be a lazy bum.
Right.
Because you know how you got there to begin with.
Right, no, definitely. I agree. Your wisdom.
And you know that you have that potential, too.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I would never return to that state. And outside of the weight, I've kept on the weight. But I would never return to that state of just, like, not doing anything for myself.
Exactly. You grew from it, dude.
I did. All right, you're right. We went all that way just for you to prove a point.
I wasn't trying to prove a point. I'm sorry. I wasn't. No. I was legitimately interested in that. But
yeah, you can grow if you're listening, whether you're 50 years old or 20 years old. Or
I think if you're 80 years old, you can grow, dude.
You can still grow.
I think you'll grow forever and ever and ever. And I think it's fucking. One thing that my dad always says to me that I find hilarious, but is very true. Honestly, right. He was like, dude, if you knew the shit that I forgot, you would be good.
Nice.
I was like, that kind of makes sense if you think about it. Yeah. He's twice my age, you know. He's forgotten probably as much as I've learned at this point.
Right. No, man. I mean, that's why I'm trying to make the most out of life right now. With the podcast and pursuing things, but also having my job and taking care of my kids. And I want to, give the wisdom to my kids that I want them to know it's okay to be themselves. There's a lot of things I want to teach my kids, and everything may not get through, but at least I'm coming from a good place, and I didn't have both parents, and I'm making sure that they're gonna have both parents through hell or sunshine.
Yeah,
my daughters will always have their mother and their father. So that's that.
Huh. I'm still blown away that you took a year off of life.
Yeah.
That's still wild to me.
Dude, didn't do anything.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy to me.
And it was just a slob. It was still getting money off my mother. My mother would work.
Did you not feel bad about that? Like getting money off your mom?
I didn't know better. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
Dude, I was...
not necessarily. You had a job before that, though, right?
I never kept a job before that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That makes more sense.
You know what I mean?
Because I'm the type of person that's like, I'm not going to ask for money unless, like, I'm literally going to die if I don't.
I had that weird mindset because I was, like, my mother took care of me.
Yeah.
That she, like, owed me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's a dark mindset to have.
Yeah.
That's pretty dark. I know what you're talking about. I've been there before where I'm like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's not like...
Aren't you supposed to do it? You're my mom.
Exactly. So it's not like nowadays I would never have that mindset.
Yeah.
But back then I kind of had like... I didn't have any guilt about it because it's like, just give me the fucking money. Why are we discussing this?
Right, yeah.
You're my mother.
Yeah.
You're supposed to take care of me. This is what you're doing your job.
Right.
Which is sad and immature of me.
Yeah. I don't think you're the only one. I've thought that way before too.
Right.
I think just recently in like the past year, I've gotten to the point where it's like, I need to take as little handout as possible. So like,
right.
My mom still like gets me shit for Christmases and birthdays, and like, this is like the first year where she called me at like the beginning of December, and she was like, all right, so like, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, honestly, Mom, I have put zero thought into it because I didn't even consider you getting me a Christmas present. Like I didn't process that in my next month gonna look like,
Right. No, like I said, man, it was just a different mindset, and I guess I've grown from that. But it happens, and this is the life we experience, man. You know, you're a better you the next day, and you have that experience, and that's why that blue belt. I know I'm bringing it up, but it's like the blue belt meant so much to me because it shows with consistency and
growth
and my growth. You know, it shows that hard work does pay off. And before then, I never knew that. Yeah. I wanted, like when I did football, I wanted instantly to be the best player on the field. When I did basketball or anything, I was like, if I wasn't the best within like a month or two, I was done with it. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I don't need to do that.
Yep.
Just so I can talk shit and be like, man, if I would have stuck with it though, I would have been great.
You're that fucking guy.
Yeah.
Fucking hate that guy.
Dude, you would have hated me in high school then.
I just don't like that guy.
Because anything you could do, like if you would have talked shit to me about wrestling in high school, I'd have been like, give me 2 weeks, dude. I could fucking pin you. You know what I mean? Without actually even trying.
Yeah.
And I would never try. But I enjoy the conversation of it.
Right. And in your mind, you're just the shit. So you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, I wasn't humbled. So.
Interesting.
Yeah, man.
I think you should take a step back a little more and appreciate your growth more.
I do. And I think one of these days I'm going to
I think especially with you having babies too.
You know what helped me out?
You're going to grow so fucking much from those two.
Oh, of course. But you know what helped me out a lot?
What's that?
I got a journal.
You keeping a journal? You got a diary, bitch? You Anne Franken up in this hoe?
Bro, I write my dreams. When I got, when I was 22, I think 22, and I started doing more stand-up comedy, or at least I attempted to do stand-up comedy at that moment, I bought a journal because it was like, you need to jot down all your things.
So you've been keeping a journal for the last 8 years?
And I think I will read you an entry.
Yo, 8 years.
I didn't write every day. When in my 20s.
But you wrote when it was a significant moment in your life that you felt enough that you needed to write about it, which I think is powerful enough.
Exactly.
If you feel the need to jot it down and you have a book that you can consistently jot things down, I think that's powerful in its own.
I have a journey from when I was 22 years old, brother, and I can tell you every moment. And I have this memories in it because I went back and looked the other day that I don't even remember.
Really?
From girls like breaking my heart.
Did they like come back once you read them? I've had that too. Yeah. Isn't that fucking wild? And you're like, how did I ever? Because in that moment, so for your example, your journal, you know, you're writing it down, so it's a very, very what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Vivid?
Yeah. It's a very important moment in your life at that time, but now over the course of a few years, you're like looking at it and you're like, I don't even remember this.
Dude, it's insane, man, and I'm happy.
That's what's wild about the human brain, that it only takes a few years and you completely forget something to you that was your entire world once before.
Dude, one of these days, I mean, I doubt I'll read the whole journal entry, but I have
You got a few for me?
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, next time I'll bring it.
You're offering. I wasn't going to ask. I was that's a little personal. I ain't going to ask.
I mean, I won't get too personal, but I will.
Is there like a specific one or something that you want me to hear? Because it sounded like you had one in mind.
I just want you to see where my mind was back then.
Okay.
Because it's fascinating to see where my mind was.
Yeah.
And what state I was in.
Yeah.
Whether I was optimistic or I was depressed or like, you know, because I have a lot of like, I will never do this again.
I bet there's some entries you probably don't even recognize yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I always wrote, like, the first 2 years I wrote a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you're slow down.
Well, I would imagine you're an emotional guy too.
Yeah, I mean, I always had to come home and had something to say. You know what I mean? Always, you know. I mean, from the girls I fell in love with to the girls I knew I couldn't, from my drinking habits to there's a lot of things. There's a lot of self-reflecting that.
Are you a hopeless romantic?
No, not anymore.
You were though.
I was though.
I was about to say, based off like just the way that you like talk about like your dating life and just females in general, I can tell that you got that hopeless romantic up in you.
Oh man, I was a cornball, dude. So I legit like.
You want the Romeo and Juliet story?
I wanted the rain pouring, the
rain pouring, holding the boombox outside your window.
The I had to see you, but it's raining.
But it's raining.
But this can't stop me. Like
I don't care.
Yeah, like that was me, man, and. You know, I thankfully, any of my ex-girlfriends or any girls that were my great friends knew I was not capable of dating. Thank you, because we both dodged a bullet.
We both dodged a bullet. Glad we can still be friends.
Yeah, but yeah, man.
I wish I would have done that though. Like kept a journal.
You can still do it. You know what? You can still do it.
Okay.
You should do it, man.
You think?
I think you should. I think everybody should.
I think with social media, it's a little bit different now, though.
Nah, keep that shit private, bro.
What do you mean?
Like you talking about with like putting your life out there?
No, not necessarily like that. Like, I think that I think like memories in general are really powerful, and I think that certain like images or sounds or things like that can trigger memories in you.
Yes.
And like, I think I would be able to recollect how I felt in that moment based off like whatever's going on. So for example, like how we record the podcast, right?
Right.
I think that one is a fantastic way for you and I to kind of keep track of like a diary-esque type thing, right? So like if I go back, you know, in September, whenever it's our year anniversary, and I look back at some of our episodes, right? You like how I threw that in there?
I like that.
You
I like
see
that
how
idea.
I did that?
Yeah.
Hey. But I'll be able to look back at our episodes and one, see our growth from the podcast, but two, I'll be able to pick up on like my vibe and see where I was at that day, or like if I'm talking about something specific, like clearly that was on my mind and that was impacting me a lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, but no, you're definitely right. Like writing in a journal, that's when you can kind of just let your freak flag fly. You know?
Yeah, you know, and it's good. It's good for reflection too. Like I said, it's dangerous to live in the past. You should never. I don't believe you should do it. But I mean, it's good to understand, like, to go back and be like, oh my God, that's who I was, but now I'm here.
Yep.
Or if you make like, because I used to put goals and stuff. Like it wasn't all like personal journal entries. Some would be dreams. Some would be like, here are my goals for the month or for the week.
Yeah.
And I would go back and reflect and check it off or exit out if I did or did not do it. You know, so there's a lot of good things that came from the journal. And like I said, it doesn't have to be all like, today my feelings are, you know, it doesn't have to always be that stuff. But there's a lot of things you can do with the journal that can help improve your life.
Yeah.
You know, so I say do it. Whoever's watching, I think you should get a journal too. We can share entries.
Definitely.
But yeah, one of these podcast episodes, I'll bring my journal in and I'll show you where I was at when I was 23 or 24, all the way up to I was 29. I just got a new one.
Okay. Are you gonna let me read some off the podcast? Because there's obviously something that you're not gonna want to say on the podcast.
I will. You know what? Yeah, I will. Because I'm proud of who I am right now, and back then.
What, you're gonna read them all on the podcast?
Bro, that's like 8 years worth of stuff.
We can take care of it in like 8 minutes. It's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it.
I will read one passage. One of these episodes, I will read a passage. If people are like...
Let's make that a thing where we read a passage from your journal once a month. Once every 4 episodes. Okay. Once every 4 episodes.
Okay, I like that.
We'll do that. Oh, I'm excited.
Is that kind of like narcissistic of me, though? To like...
No, because I'm interested.
Okay, cool.
Because I want you to do that.
Thank you.
As long as you're okay with it.
That's all I was fishing for. I'm okay with it.
No, yeah, I'm genuinely interested in it. Because I think of, like, exactly a lot of what you just said. Like, how you can reflect and see, like, where you were in your state of mind and things like that.
Right.
And that also goes hand in hand with what I was saying as far as, like, human growth in general, too. Like, it's extremely important to look back and reflect on where you were in certain situations and how you felt and how you handled them and things like that, and it makes that reflection and growth that much easier if you have like a journal or something that you can reflect on, for sure.
I agree, man. No, I like that. So that'll be a thing we'll do.
Very good. I like it. Where are we at here? It's 10:32. We were recording about an hour and a half.
All right.
Should we be wrapping it up?
We should be wrapping it up, man.
So before we wrap this up, guys, I do want to say, and we'll actually start doing this at the beginning of every episode, but I want to just say thank you to all of our supporters, all the people that are out there subscribing, all the people that are following us, commenting, liking, sharing, everything. your guys' support is the reason that we keep doing this and keep putting
Right.
as much effort into it as possible. I think it's still something that you and I would do just for fun because we truly enjoy doing it. But the fact that we keep putting more and more into it as far as like getting cameras, making sure the headphones, things like that, you guys are what motivates us to do that. So I just want to say thank you to all of our listeners and help us keep growing by making sure that you guys are commenting on this stuff, making sure if you're not subscribed and you enjoy it, you subscribe. If you don't like it, or if you do like it and you haven't liked it, then physically like it. Help us grow because you guys are motivating us essentially to keep it growing.
I agree. You know, this has been a big. I must thank my girlfriend for.
I can't. Yeah.
You know,
don't say it because
Okay.
I'm just gonna make a post for it on our social media
cool.
pages, and this is gonna get released after the post is made.
Okay, cool. Well,
I
thank
just
you
want
to
to make sure
everyone.
we put it out there, but we will
listens.
say thank you, Leslie, because she's very supportive of the podcast.
Very, very supportive.
And not only supportive, but she's also participating and helping. So she's a part of this as well. So,
and you guys, if anything, please comment. And you know, we want to make sure that these episodes only get better and that you guys are enjoying it, because I know for some people put it on the background, they listen, and anyone that listens, even if you listen for 5 minutes, thank you. That's means the world to us, because this is, we're putting effort into it. You know,
just so you guys know, we fucking love the comments. Like,
Yeah.
Mike Murray and Orlando almost always comment, and every single time I'm dying whenever I read their comments. I love your guys' comments, and then I also love people that snag me in the gym, and they're just like, hey, I listened to the episode last night, and I'm like, literally makes my fucking day when someone's like, I listened to the episode last night, and I'm like, you listen.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you.
I
But yeah,
appreciate
no,
it.
we're you guys keep us motivated.
Right.
You guys keep us motivated to keep it growing and everything. We would still do it regardless, but it wouldn't be as nice as it is now, and it won't. It'll keep getting nicer because of you guys.
Right.
So, thank you guys for your support and keep on supporting.
Yeah.
Anything you got to say, Mr.
Nah, thank
KCFA
you.
commentator?
Yeah. No, I have nothing to say outside of thank you and keep supporting, and we'll get better and make sure the quality is at a level. As much as we grow with our equipment, we'll make sure the quality is there too. That's all I have to say.
Constantly trying to raise the bar, right?
Yeah.
That's all we're doing. We're trying to grow. See what
Right.
I did there? Either way, we're out, guys. Off the Mat Podcast. Love, peace, chicken grease.
All right, bye.